Okay, so we're going to look at the first one is the Kidney Meridian. And the Kidney Meridian is in the same general location as the spleen on the inside of the leg. All right. So the Kidney Meridian in Chinese medicine is responsible and holds all of your energy. The Kidney Meridian holds what's called your pre- and postnatal Qi. So it's your kidneys that, in Chinese medicine, help you access and integrate the Qi that you get from your parents. That's what postnatal Qi is in Chinese medicine. So it's like the energy, it's basically like your DNA. You know, your characteristics, your general thoughts, and how you respond to certain things. And then the postnatal Qi is how you live this life. And in Chinese medicine, it's based on how well you eat, how well you exercise, and how well you breathe. Right? These are the three cornerstones of healthiness. So in Chinese medicine, when they mean eat, they mean whatever you're exposed to. Whatever you read, whatever you listen, whatever you see, whatever you surround yourself with, these are all things that feed you. You know, and exercise is exercise. The main component is that there's some movement, discipline in your life that keeps everything flowing well. Because so easy we get in stagnation because we do the same thing, and we don't take the time to do maybe these simple stretches or something, right? So very important. And the quality of breath, meaning air quality, is one thing, but how you breathe, how you choose to breathe, deep breathing. That's why there's always meditation involved in these disciplines, because it teaches you proper breath and self-reflection. So that's very important for your overall demeanor, to help your mind relax a little bit, so that we can. Because that's, in Chinese medicine, they say the tightest thing in everyone's body is their mind. So this is what the focus is for a lot of this practice, is just, to get your head right, as they say. You know, so this is the thing. So the kid, I was sneaking up on you all that whole time. The Kidney Meridian, it starts on the bottom of the foot, and then it comes right up. Feel on yourself for a second. Everyone, sit like you're okay. But look at your ankle. See your ankle, and then see where your Achilles tendon is. Okay, so there's a space in between those. So halfway between there, put your thumb and then press towards the ankle until you feel like a little dull ache. It's a little closer to the Malleolus. Okay, this is where the Kidney Meridian comes through. And this is a point they use to help bring energy back into the system. So this helps the energy in the kidneys start to go through the channel more.
So I need to just sit and do this at home all the time.
Have one of your dogs put their paw on.
I always thought it was the bottom of the foot, like that.
The bottom of the foot is where it starts. The meridian starts on the bottom.
Doesn't it start right here and then travel up?
Yeah, but this is where it starts, but this is what's called the source point.
Interesting.
That's the point that helps activate, balances the...
So when you're massaging someone and they say that's excruciatingly painful, which happens a lot, does that mean that their kidney Qi is...
It could be blocked a little bit. It could be dissipated. It could all just be physical pain right there too. So, you just have to change the tempo, or maybe hold it a little longer without going in and out. All the things we do as body workers, after a while, we try to regulate our sense of touch to deal with what we're eating.
Can you touch the point on my head?
I thought you'd never ask. Okay, so here's medial malleolus, Achilles tendon. And they should, it's an amazing thing to do, but unfortunately it's associated usually with a dull ache. So, but this is a good thing to do. So this time we're going to spend a little bit more time on the meridian, thumbing the meridian rather than stretching it. So we're going to all start here by the ankle and just sink right into that point. And then we're just going to do a line straight up the body, like this. And we're going to try it bilaterally. Right. And you're going to rock your weight so that you can get right in there. You're just going to go right in there. Now feel on yourself something. Like if you start there and you start coming up, you'll feel like you're in between an adductor but also the gastroc, right?
Yeah.
That's where you want to be, right in that groove.
Yeah.
And you just follow
That's
that groove
uncomfortable.
right up.
It's not rough. I found a lot of people have shin splints in that
Okay.
area.
Now this is a good thing too because the meridians happen to be in between things. They're in between muscles. They're in between muscle and bone. So if you work this area, you're also opening up the fascial binding that happens between muscles and bone. And when you help relieve the stagnation, or that one dude says the fuzziness, Gil, whatever his name is. What is his name? Headley, I think, Gil Headley or something. He talks about the fuzziness that happens in between muscles. And what happens is the fascia, the connective tissue, gets bound down and the muscles can't glide as well as one another. So learning also not only the location of the channel, but going in between things helps facilitate looseness in your body work. So we're just going to go bilaterally, right? And we're going to take one leg at a time and put it up very high, because that stretches the meridian. And then we're going to come people a little closer. Don't wait for the video. I want you to see where I'm doing. So it's hard to see in the black pants, but you want to bring the leg up high so it starts to stretch. And here's the crest of her calf. You want to come just above that and sink in. Did you want to hit like a high note or anything? And look at also body weight, extended arms, right? And I'm just leaning in with my body weight.
Are you sinking into the hamstring or?
No, so here's her calf, but I'm going into the adductor.
Okay.
And this is the most medial, so it's in between, would be, I guess, gracilis and the hamstring,
Okay.
in that groove.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a groove there, and I want you to feel that, and you just sink right in. And you follow that groove right up until, you stop just below the groin. I was going to say socially embarrassed, but that sounded weird.
Well, would you go up towards the groin at it for things like strains and stuff like that?
Yeah, but I would take the pressure off.
Okay. Slack it.
Is there any way you can show us what you're doing with your hands without your fingers blocking your, like, so if you just turn your thumb up for a minute like that and show us what you're, yeah, that's good. It's hard to tell with the black pants, everything's blending.
So but if you think about it, it's in the adductors. It's in between the lower gracilis and where the hamstring starts,
Okay.
right? Because if you go any further down, you're going to be on the back of the leg. But this technique allows you not only a specific location of the meridian, but also bringing into your awareness about going in between things in your body work, which I find is very important because of how it opens up the channel, but also the fascial binding that happens in between muscles and bone. So it can be very nice that way. This is perfectly fine too if it's easier for you to do your fingertips. Right. So you do one top leg, and then you want to do, because you can't do those bilateral. Well, you can, but this is too weird. So again, right, easy.
So here's a question. You know how when in bodywork, if you're working on a ghost limb, you still work on it as if it's there because the person still feels it? Would you do the same thing with this? The
Yeah.
same energy would still be
Yeah,
there?
it's still like in the matrix, actually. I
Yeah.
used when I first started teaching at a school, I was managing the clinic, and there was amputees, and
Yeah.
routinely they would feel the contour of their arm or leg.
Yeah, so you still act, like you're. Yeah. So I have a client who's missing a finger that he lost, and he goes down into here, and he still swears that when I do the pull, I
Oh,
pull
yeah.
that finger,
It's
even though
just
I'm not
in-
pulling anything, he feels it.
It's in their energy matrix for sure. Okay, so that's kidney, and now we want to do its partner, which is bladder. Now look at the bladder meridian, and bladder meridian is the longest meridian in the body, right? So it starts in the front here, right in the inside of the eye, the inner canthus of the eye. And it comes over the top of the head, and it comes down, and remember it's bilateral, so it's on either side. Comes down here, and then it splits in two lines, so it's two parallel lines on either side of the spine. And then it comes through the sacrum, and it goes through the gluteals, and then it goes through the hamstrings, and then it goes through the gastrocs, right, and out the side of the foot. So it's the longest meridian in the body. So how we stretch the stomach meridian, which was on the front when we brought the body this way, then for bladder meridian, we're going to have to bring the body this way. Understand? Okay. All right. Where you should be. Okay, here. Just come this far. Okay, so one of the easiest ways of stretching bladder meridian is just forward fold. Because you let your head go down and you're stretching your back, stretches your lower back, and then when you go far enough, and because it rocks your pelvis back, it starts stretching your hamstrings, right? Easy. So a couple of things too with bladder.
Go for it.
For the bladder meridian, you could also use it as a diagnostic as far as where the person is tight. Because just watching them forward fold, we can pick up a few things. So you just lean forward as much as you can and let your head and neck relax. So that's good right there? Okay, so there's a little tightness in lower back, obviously. Okay, come back up. Now, and if you have put someone forward fold and they start going like this and this happens, what does that mean to you? Tight hamstrings. Awesome. So it gives you some specificity on how to work. Just simple forward fold. If they're folding and their legs come out this way, what do you think? Tight hips, right? So a simple forward fold, if the person can only go this far, lower, if they can't let their neck, it's usually the junction of C7-T1, right? And then again, if they're here and their knees come up but in a straight trajectory, it's more hamstrings. But if they continue to fold and their legs turn out, that's tight hips. So it gives you a lot of information. Awesome. As far as stretching goes, for this, we're going to start with them in seated position. And then we're just going to have them coax their head down a little bit just to open up that first junction. So I'm just placing one hand here just so she doesn't go forward. And then we'll place our arms out here, and then okay, now just fold forward a little bit. And I'm lifting the sacrum up because that takes the pressure off the lower lumbar vertebra, and it also starts to stretch their hamstrings because you're rocking the pelvis anteriorly, and it pulls at a common point of attachment of the ischial tuberosity. Okay, so this is how we stretch this, right? And then for bring her down. And then obviously for the lower portion, we're going to stretch hamstrings. But again, you pay attention to how you use your body, right? How you do is up to you, but don't burden your lower back. Don't overly extend, it's silly, right? When you can just simply go here and lift with your legs and come up. And you come up to point of resistance, and immediately I'm going to open my stance this way because I'm going to take one hand and place it right at the knees and put a little back pressure here to align the bones. Because once you align the bones above and below the knee, you get a truer stretch. So just a little pressure here, and then forward until you feel resistance. Okay? And then we're going to just stretching here. Now, before you even do that, one thing you can do is this. With the legs here, support one hand here and press down here on the, just relax this way, on the bottom here to stretch out gastroc. Right? Because the meridian goes right through the center of the gastroc. And the more you come out towards the ball of the foot, the bigger stretch you get. You feel? And then you switch, right? And again, I'm just using my body weight. I'm just leaning in. And then you could come like this, and we're going to, you okay? You tell me if it's too much. So, my next thing is this. So, I would suggest this. You come up, right? You rest in there. You do this, right? And then you can do, she wants to balance things. Your hamstring stretch. And you let the knees bend, and you're going to motion them towards her torso so it opens up the lower back more. And for this to happen, so you could utilize your body weight more readily, one foot in front of the other. So you're in a slight lunge position, and your arms extended, and just lean in with your body weight. So it's your body weight again doing the work, not you. They're supposed to get emotional, not you. Okay. And then we're going to come out of that. Do this. Do loosen up the sacrum. You like?
Yeah.
Ah, good. One way and then the other. And again, you use your body weight, yeah? And then this, which I love. You come like this. See how the legs are relatively 90 degrees to the mat. And I'm securing their legs to the center with my knees. And I'm right over here, and I'm going to put my palms right on their patellas. And I'm just going to let my body weight come in there, and you feel that right in your SI joint. It opens up your iliums, and your SI joint feels lovely. Because the meridian goes right through there. You want to open that up. And then release. And then to end, nice smile. You know, just like, and just look, see how I'm just standing up so that we can bring them back to where we found them. Okay?